What's going on, ladies and gents? Today, we are going to have a talk about spider sense. More specifically, the traits that each of the three live actions displays. What do I mean by traits? So, spider sense has this general trait of detecting danger, right? It's what it's known for. But if you watch long enough and if you pay close enough attention, how each one does it varies from one spider person to the next. And that's what I want to break down. What are the traits of the three live actions? Toby's, Andrew's, and Tom's. Across all iterations, there are three traits of spider sense that are most common, which is connected reflexes, showing the danger, and slowing perception of time. Connected reflexes is where spider sense is connected to their body. As soon as it goes off, it dodges for them. They don't have to think about it and manually do it like, oh crap, that's coming toward me. Dodge. Spider sense just goes off and dodges for them. Showing the danger is where that spider person is given a mental image of what the danger is, or they are given a general direction of where the danger is coming from. Then, slowing perception of time is pretty simple and easy to explain. It literally just slows how they perceive everything around them. Think Matrix, Quicksilver. You know that one scene in Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Electro in Times Square? That one. Also, two quick notes before we jump into Tobey Maguire's Spider Sense. First of all, in media, it's common for spider sense not to work every single time. There has to be stakes somehow. So I will not be counting any failures, meaning, oh, it should have worked here. That's not a trait. That's literally just media. I will only be counting successful spider sense moments. Number two, it has to be explicitly spider sense, meaning there has to be a sound, there has to be some zoom in, something to indicate this is spider sense, not just environmental clues. Okay? Good to go? All right, let's jump into Toby's. In his movies, Tobey Maguire displays all three traits, all three core traits of spider sense: connected reflexes, showing the danger, and slowed perception. We're going to start with showing the danger because this is a trait that has the most scenes, both outright and objective. You cannot argue against it, and scenes that imply that it's showing him the danger of what's going on. The first time we see this is in the cafeteria where he's eating lunch and his spider sense goes off. Immediate cut to MJ about to slip and hurt herself. Second time we see it is in that festival with Green Goblin. Mind you, his spider sense goes off twice. The first time, he's just kind of looking around. He doesn't know what's going on. Second time it goes off, though, he immediately looks up and we see Green Goblin rounding the corner into view. Third time it goes off is, well, also Green Goblin. He is about to be impaled by the glider. Spider sense goes off. Immediate cut to the glider extending the blade and about to smash into him. Fourth time it's displayed is during the train scene. And this is the one that everyone thinks of. Because in that moment, his presence goes off and zooms forward toward the end of the tracks because the train is about to go off the rails, hurting him and everyone. With his specific showing the danger, it not only shows and indicates danger toward himself, but to others as well. The second trait is slowing perception of time, and this is shown during his fight scene with Flash. And honestly, I kind of wanted to include this on the showing the danger, but I decided to stick it here instead. As Flash is about to punch him, his spider sense goes off, and time slows down for him. And this is shown with how Flash is sounding, but also with how the wings of the fly are going. They are super slow. And mind you, a fly's wings beats at hundreds of times per second. It's insane. So, yeah, slowing perception of time. Third trait, connected reflexes. And this one is also shown during the fight scene with Flash because As he's about to be ran up on and charged at from behind, his spider sense goes off and he jumps up and does a backflip. This could be showing the danger, it could be another scene implying it, but what settles it as connected reflexes is that confused look he gets because he goes off, does a backflip, and he's just looking around. He doesn't understand what's going on. So, that by itself would show the connected reflexes since his body took over for him. Now, we're going to get into Andrew Garfield's spider sense, and his is actually pretty cool. His has connected reflexes, slowing perception, and a unique trait that I have dubbed danger protection. Connected reflexes is shown during Amazing Spider-Man 1, specifically on the subway train where he's being jumped by these people. Spider Sense keeps going off, and he's not meaning to hurt them. Why else would he be apologizing so profusely? Because if he knew what he was doing and he was meaning to protect himself, he wouldn't be apologizing. He just looks confused and doesn't understand, which is a core trait of connected reflexes whenever it first manifests. Trait number 2, slowing perception. This is shown twice during The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The first time during Times Square with Electro, where he's trying to save those people. The second time is with Gwen Stacy as she's falling to her death. And there's nothing else to say about it. It just shows with how time slows down. Number 3, danger protection, and this is my favorite trait of his. Andrew's is my favorite spider sense because of this trait right here. What is danger protection? It's how efficient his spider sense is at detecting danger, not to himself, but to others. Yes, every spider sense tends to aim and lean in toward protecting others, but his is so good at it, even when there is zero danger to himself. The first time this is displayed is during the scene with Gwen Stacy. He's on the balcony with her, they're just having a little moment. His spider sense goes off, and where does he look? Bridge. That's where the lizard is going. He has zero incentive to go there. His spider sense isn't detecting any danger to himself. It's the danger that the lizard poses to everyone else on the bridge. Second time this is displayed is as Peter is walking down the street and a lizard is trying to track down Kurt Connors, who is becoming the lizard. Peter doesn't know this. He doesn't know that this lizard is doing anything. He doesn't even aware of the lizard until Spider Sense goes off and he immediately looks down at the lizard to see where it's going. He's like, okay, something's not right here. He follows it. Spider Sense is detecting what is happening with the lizard and tells him, go solve it. Number 3, Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is where he is away from Times Square, and his spider sense goes off as Electro is heading to Times Square and is about to make a scene. In every one of these traits, Peter is nowhere near being in danger. He is safe, but his spider sense is telling him to go solve the problem, to save others, despite the danger to himself. That's why I call it danger protection. It's what his spider sense is telling him to do. For Tom Holland's spider sense, his displays 2 traits. The first one is connected reflexes. The second one is something that I call soul affinity. Connected reflexes is shown during Far From Home, specifically against Mysterio. And I've always been of the opinion that if a Spider Man goes against Mysterio and there's a scene where he blindfolds himself or closes his eyes or whatever to fight Mysterio, it's automatically connected reflexes because he's letting the spider sense take over for him since he can't trust his other senses. He can't trust his mind. So he has to rely on the tingle in the back of his head. Next up, we have soul affinity. And what soul affinity means, what I've observed, his spider sense connects his soul to his body and is able to actually manipulate his soul. The most prominent example of this is during his fight with Doctor Strange because he performs the soul sever on him, meaning he shouldn't be able to get back to his body, and his body is just stuck in limbo, at least for a moment while Doctor Strange collects the box. But that's not what happens. Instead, Peter's body is still moving around, dodging Doctor Strange, because that's what his soul wants. And if you look at Peter's astral form, you can see the spider sense going off above his head. Next, he's the only one to connect his astral form back to his body. The only one to ever do so. This soul affinity actually ties back to Infinity War because Peter is the one who lasted the longest after being snapped out of existence. Or at least he should have been snapped out of existence. But again, he lasted longer than the others did. And the Russo brothers confirmed it was Peter's spider sense that allowed this. I thought maybe it was just pure awareness and he was just fighting back against it. His spider sense was. But with soul affinity, it's telling me his spider sense was actively pulling his soul back into his body as long as it possibly could. And that, my friends, is all the live action spider senses and their traits. If you're interested in more content like this, I plan on actually covering all of the spider senses at some point. I'm currently working on Spider-Man the new animated series because I actually have that on DVD. So, if you want to see the rest of them, please leave a like, subscribe, and I will see y'all soon.